Well, we're finishing up finals, trying to improve our basketball team, heading into the Cal game on the 21st. Cal's dangerous. They're extremely talented offensively and are playing super hard at the defensive end. It'll be a challenge for us to go up to San Jose and play them in a neutral court game. But a challenge we're looking forward to as we try to get better every day. We're out here on the practice floor.
At neutral court, but they're a lot closer to home. Will they have a bigger crowd, I'm assuming?
You know, it's interesting because Oregon and Stanford play the first game. We play the second game, obviously, against Cal. So I'm interested to see what the attendance is like. You know, we usually travel really well, but a lot of Aztec fans came to the Players Era event in November and then to come all the way up there for one game. I'm sure the fans we have in the area will be there because we always draw well. And so I'll be interested to see who has a bigger crowd, us or Cal, at our game.
What goes into Doug's playing Cal and San Juan Capistrano in San Jose as opposed to Viejas and their home arena?
You know, just a lot of teams are interested in playing neutral site games now. You know, this is a series we could obviously look to continue home and home. We've done that in the past with them. But with that San Juan Capistrano event, they were already there. They wanted a game, and I just figured we'd have great attendance last year, which we did. The building was full of Aztec fans. And so now we're kind of returning a neutral game to them for playing us. So hopefully we'll have enough fans in there that'll affect the game for us.
Is that a metric thing, playing on neutrals versus home and home?
Yeah, I mean, no one wants to lose a home game. It always hurts you metrically. But playing in a neutral game, sometimes you can survive it. So people are checking all those numbers out, and I'm not as versed as I probably should be. But whenever we play St. Mary's now, usually it's a neutral game. Neither one wants to run the risk of losing a home game. And so there's some thought that goes into home games versus neutral games.
How high is rebounding on your Christmas list?
I'd like to add a rebounder in the stocking, but I don't think we can. We have the team we have, so we have to get better at rebounding. So it's always been said, you know, you can teach rebounding, you can recruit rebounding. And so we have to teach rebounding right now. And we work on it every single day. And, you know, we play Houston, who's a really good offensive rebounding team, and we basically play even with them. But then Cal Baptist comes in and gets all sorts of second chance points. And then the next two games are Cal, who I think is 12 in the country in offensive rebounding percentage, and then Utah State is number 1 and they're 2 in the country in offensive rebounding percentage. So we work on rebounding every day, and it will be a challenge for us again on the 21st against Cal.
Coach, you can focus on winning, but the numbers are wild. You're ranked 23, but you're 56 in net. You're mid-40s in the Ken Palm. What do you make of the numbers and what they mean at this time of the year?
You know, we just have to keep winning. I know, you know, obviously we wish our metrics were better. I don't know why they are or aren't. We've played as difficult a schedule as we can possibly play. But then point differential goes into these games. Not winning is not enough. Winning by a lot of points is what you're trying to do at some level. So our first goal is to win the game. And then obviously a lot of teams are trying to win by larger margins because it affects the metrics.
Coach, your thoughts on 10 days of rest? Obviously a good thing, but is there a chance that some rust may have developed?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm just trying to get a young team better. This is a really young team. And I tell them sometimes you think you're playing hard, and I've watched it a long time, and you're not playing hard enough. And so I have to coach them without tearing their confidence down, but being realistic with them. And so we've gotten better this last 3 or 4 days of practice. We've added some stuff. We've gone back to fundamentals on some other stuff, and I like this team a lot. But obviously we're entering a really tough 3-game stretch with Cal and then Utah State at home and then Boise on the road. That's a really difficult stretch for any team.
So you're saying sometimes you have to kick them in the ass?
Sometimes I've got to demand more of them, and I try to do that. We always get better as the season goes on. So that's the thing I like about our program. You know, we always get better. And I know sometimes coaches are really hard on their team early, and they get a lot out of them. But over the course of a season, I think it can wear a team down too. And so we try to be realistic with them. We try to get all we can out of them without jeopardizing tearing their confidence away from them.
Anything else on that wish list?
Reese Waters, but we don't know about that for a while. It'd be nice to have Reese back, but I think has another exam coming up shortly. We'll see where he's at, and then just good health for my team.
obviously rebounding is one of them. What are some of the other things you try to get better at in self-scouting, identifying this week?
Oh, just defensively, getting back to fundamentals, help defense. Be a better help defensive team. Following scouting reports, every team plays you different. The thing I'm actually really happy about, knock on wood, is turnover margin. Sometimes we practice, we look really careless with the ball, but in the games, our turnovers have been very good. I think we're just probably 10 or just a little over that, and for a young team, that's pretty good.
I'm sure you broke down almost every offensive rebound that you guys surrendered. Is there one thing or two things that are happening?
Oh, just got to try to free our hands up more. I mean, we're physically boxing out, but we're working so hard on boxing out, we're not turning and getting the ball. We're getting locked up physically and unable to turn around and get our hands free. So we're working on trying to free our hands up where we can get two hands on the ball instead of just batting it with one hand, and just all the fundamental stuff, just trying to be better at all of it. And we've shown an ability to do it. We just haven't done it consistently.
What's impressed you about Miles highly the last couple of games?
Just his confidence has gone up. With his improved play, his confidence has gone up. And that's the number one thing you need to be a good player, is you have to be confident. And so he's rolling to the basket, he's finding the ball and catching it and finishing, and then he's our best offensive rebounder. So statistically, he's getting more than anybody. So Miles is getting better. He's 9 games into his sophomore year, and so he's just on track and getting better every time he steps on the floor.
DJ was just talking about, I know frustration is the right word, but just about the reality of scoring a lot early and maybe not scoring as much lately and doing different things. Does this week off help him maybe refocus?
I mean, everybody plays you different, They've got, when you're the leading scorer, then teams set their defense to you. And so he's drawing more attention, and that's freeing other guys up. And as the other guys start to score, he may find more freedom within his play. And so that's just basketball, and that's the beauty of our team. We have great balance, that we're not relying on one guy to put those numbers up every game. We've had an ability to have different people step up at different times and put numbers on the board that have made us successful.
Is it hard for a guy like him who didn't play very much last year, now starts to play, puts up an incredible first 5, he shoots over 60%, which obviously is not going to be sustainable over a whole season. Is it hard mentally to realize you're going to have these ups and downs until you go through them?
Yeah, I mean, until you go through them. There's a learning curve to all this. And so he's just in the learning curve now. So we're trying to be encouraging in practice and tell him he's good, and tell him, I tell this to all the guys on the team, if you continue to work hard and have a consistent effort, it'll be your night. But it's not your night every night. Yeah, but you have to work toward that goal of being at your best every time you step out there. And if you do that, eventually your night will come again, and his night will come again.